Welcome back to the Spider Within. My name's Cam, and today I'm joined by Cody, also known as This Kid's Opinion, and today we're gonna go over Captain America: Brave New World cameos. People that think that they're gonna be in, or people that we don't think they're gonna be in.
Let's kick it off with Emil Blonsky, the main villain of the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie, who recently had an appearance in She-Hulk, and was just weird. We just saw him in a therapy group the entire time, and he was also in Shang Chi. Almost forgot about that. He was in Shang Chi. He was battling Wong. So will he be in this movie that's full of a bunch of Hulk villains? Thaddeus Ross. You got the leader in here. I'm gonna say it is pretty unlikely he'll be in this movie. He was just in a terrible She-Hulk show, and I just think Marvel is gonna try to do anything to deviate from that show. Even it does mean we don't get to see a pretty interesting character, but he was done pretty dirty in She-Hulk, and he is not interesting anymore to me. So I'm gonna go in the 25%. What about you, Cam?
Yeah, I'm also thinking 25%. I think it's either gonna be like a little flashback or just something minor where it just shows up.
Next up is the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, who's set to appear in the Thunderbolts, but he may have an appearance in this movie as well. He just had an entire show with Sam Wilson. And he was by his side every step of the way until his ascension to becoming Captain America. So will he be in this movie? Maybe like Joaquin and Sam need his help or something, but I think he's going to be ready for Thunderbolts.
I see it like only in the beginning.
Yeah,
just like in the beginning.
That is a fair point. He could be in the beginning before he gets recruited by Val, because we don't know how he meets her. We've never seen them interact. So, you actually could be right. He could be in the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, and just like sorely like of just talking to Sam and wishing him well, going off to see the president and whatever, and then just never see him again.
Yeah, so I think 50% is that's where I would put it. What about you?
I would also put it 50%.
So next up is we're just gonna throw it in 0%. Wolverine. Adamantium is being introduced in this movie, but he's not gonna be in this movie. It would be pretty shocking. It would definitely not be Hugh Jackman. And there's no need for another Wolverine right now. So I'm 0. What about you, Cam? Do you have any hot takes about Wolverine?
Me personally, that's gonna be 100%. I don't know. Wolverine is gonna be in every single scene. I bet every single scene. There's not gonna be a single, scene that he's not in. But no, yeah, it's 0.
And our next potential cameo is Akoye. I actually think this one's pretty likely, along with Shuri. I guess I'll go ahead and grab Shuri as well, since we'll probably see them together if they do make an appearance. I'm actually gonna say 75% because we haven't seen these two characters since their movie, Black Panther 2. And we know that Sam does get a new suit. He starts off with the white one we saw in the show, but we see him get a blue one. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's created by the Wakandans as well. So I think we'll see Shuri and Akoye. What about you, Cam?
Yeah, I also think it's gonna be 75%. Simply because of the suit and maybe probably touch up the shield a little bit, make it more durable.
Next up is our first 100%, and that is Betty Ross. She is definitely coming back into this movie, and it's about darn time because after watching the 2008 Hulk movie, I'm invested in Bruce's and Betty's relationship. But unfortunately, we never saw that continue after they recasted Edward Norton with Mark Ruffalo, and they instead tried to do a little Black Widow romance with Hulk. Never really worked for me, but I really dug him and Betty Ross together, so I'm glad we'll be able to see her again. Next up, Baron Zemo, who returned in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and he was a breath of fresh air. I really like Zemo's character, and it's good to have him in the show. But I don't think he's going to be in this movie whatsoever, because we just saw his grand return, and he just went back to jail on the raft. So I'm going to say he's going to be in the 0%. Do you think there's any chance he could be in this movie, Cam?
I possibly think that he could be in in this movie, just simply of a little hideout for Sam once everything does go, you know, out of control, and he needs somewhere to hide out for a little bit. So there may be a possibility that he might go to him as an ally and just hide out for like a little bit and get resources, all that good stuff.
Yeah, because he really wasn't like a villain in the show. I mean, the worst thing he did was, I mean, he destroyed all the serum. He shot the scientists that made the serum, but that's about it. He was very cooperative with Bucky and Sam, so I wouldn't mind, Sam going to him if he ever needed him. So, do you feel comfortable moving it out of 0 to 25%?
I don't feel comfortable, but I feel like it would be like in the middle, so like what, 10-15%?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think he's way more like Wolverine, so I'm fine with bumping him up to 25%. Next up is Nick Fury, who had an embarrassing couple straight projects. He was in Secret Invasion and the Marvels, and his stock is incredibly low, and he's in space with the love of his life. I don't think he has any desire to get involved with this Hulk, Adamantium, World War III, whatever's going on in this movie conflict. So I'm gonna throw Nick Fury in 0%. What about you, Cam?
I also think there's really no reason why he would be down on Earth when he's basically in retirement. So yeah, I don't see him ever coming back.
Yeah, at least not for maybe he
for a
pops
while
up in Avengers, but I mean, he just had his own little arc, if you want to call it, in a Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
And speaking of Secret Invasion, we have Rhodey, who, in which that was his last appearance. He was also in a deleted scene in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I actually don't mind him maybe making an appearance in this movie. Like maybe he's with Joaquin and Sam in that scene where they go to Tiamat, where it looks like a bunch of countries are fighting over his medal. So I wouldn't mind maybe seeing Rhodey get appearance in this movie, because he has not had a lot of screen time, and I really like Rhodey, so I think he deserves more screen time, and I want to say he might be in that scene with Joaquin, Torres, and Sam Wilson. So I'm gonna throw Rhodey in 50%.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with 50%. Just like, I don't know, I see them doing some kind of way of like updating Rhodey on like everything that's happening, and then updating him on the current situation, and just kind of bring him in it for like a little bit, and then just take him away after like 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, nothing too much, but I definitely think he deserves something, because he was supposed to have his own movie that got turned into a show, Armor Wars, but it looks like that project's probably not going to happen, so get this man some screen time. Next up is a bold one, Amadeus Cho. I'm actually going to throw this in the 75%, because I ultimately think the leader's plan is going to be very simple. He's basically going to rip off the Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man movie. He's going to try to turn everyone into a monster. This time it's going to be Hulk in this scenario. So I ultimately think he's obviously going to, lose. His plan is going to fail. But I do think he'll turn a couple people. And I think we could see the debut of Amadeus Cho, because we've already seen his mom in Age of Ultron. She was the scientist that helped out the Avengers, worked at Stark Towers. So I'm actually going to throw Amadeus Cho at 75%. And next up, we have John Walker, who debuted in Falcon Winter Soldier, and he's going to get a bunch of screen time in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie. Is he going to be in this movie? I don't think he... This is a tough
I don't
one.
think so. I don't think so.
I'm going to say 25%. There's no room for him. The only... Like maybe we get a flashback, because he was a crucial part of Falcon Winter Soldier. He is the reason why Sam became Captain America. So I'm going to give it a slight chance, but I don't see a need for him in this movie.
Yeah, since Thunderbolts is on its way to us, I don't think they're gonna have him in one project and then immediately in the next one.
Yeah,
because people do get tired of just seeing the same characters over and over and over again. So I The only way I can see it is at the 25%, maybe even lower.
Yeah, because, I mean, literally Thunderbolts is coming out a couple months after this movie, so there's no need for him, so I agree with you. So next up, we have Eli Bradley. If you're not familiar with this character, it's because he only had a couple seconds of an appearance in The Falcon Winter Soldier, and you may recognize the last name. He is the grandson of Isaiah Bradley, who is going to be in this movie, the first ever super soldier. And this is his grandson, and in the comics, he's actually part of the Young Avengers. I believe he becomes the character Patriot. So I actually don't mind him being in this movie potentially. Like honestly, maybe I'll throw him at 75% and move Amadeus Cho to 50%. I'm actually pretty confident we may see him return in this movie, especially since it looks like we're getting at least a couple scenes with Isaiah Bradley in there. So I might actually move Amadeus 50% and Eli at 75%.
Yeah, I would keep Eli at 75% simply because we're gonna go see Isaiah. So there's a possibility that, you know, Eli is definitely gonna be with his grandfather, you know, with him some point. So I would keep it at 75.
Next up is Everett Ross. His ex-wife Valentina is going to get a lot of screen time in Thunderbolts, so he might also be in that movie too, but we have no idea if he's in that movie. He's always been a part of these little political type projects. He was in Black Panther 2. He was in Secret Invasion. So he was in the first two Black Panthers actually. 25%, because like I don't know what he adds. I don't know what he'd add to the story.
He's just a little side character.
All right, next up is Gaia from Secret Invasion, who we have not seen since. She is the most powerful character in the history of Marvel. However, will they ever touch on anything from Secret Invasion again? I doubt it. I'm gonna throw it at 0% because she's more powerful than Captain Marvel, and I already think that she's overpowered and very difficult to make a movie with, because how is she supposed to lose? So I don't want to see Gaia.
I'm trying to erase Secret Invasion out of my mind, and having Gaia in this movie will not do that for me.
Next up is Joe Biden version of Captain America, Steve Rogers. I'm gonna go 50% on this one, because where did he go? We know he didn't die. We don't know where he went out this movie.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
But we never saw him die. So he may still be lurking around. Look, man, Sam's going to make a big mistake, and he's got to be like, man, I need some guidance. And Steve's going to say something wise, and Sam's somehow going to beat Red Hulk. To me, that's script in my head. So maybe he's 25%. I think he's more likely than Everett Ross and Zemo. I'm going to throw him at 50%. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I could see Chris Evans coming back because of his return of not Captain America, but, you know, as the Human Torch in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't think he would be back into the MCU, leaving the Captain America mantle. But seeing him in, you know, another Marvel movie kind of seemed like, he's not done with, you know, superhero stuff. So I could see Chris Evans returning as Joe Biden.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I think if he didn't show up in Deadpool Wolverine, he's automatic 0. But I think this movie's going to try to tie in a lot of loose ends that are in the MCU. A ton of them come from the Incredible Hulk movie. They're obviously trying to tie in the mystery of how we've never seen Tiamat in the middle of the ocean for the history of the Earth. And then this one's also a big mystery for a while. What happened to Captain America after he came back from his time travel with Peggy? So yeah, I think he might be in this movie. Next up is a big leap. This is Justin Hammer, the arms dealer, one of the main villains from the Iron Man 2 movie. He was working with Whiplash to take down Iron Man. Didn't work out, and we have no idea what happened to this guy. So maybe he's going to. The only reason I added him to this list is because of adamantium. So maybe he's going to try to get his hands on adamantium. So is he 0% though? Probably, but I have a little hope. I have a little hope that he may be 25%. It would be decent to see him. Nobody would recognize him, but I would. And next up is another loose end from the MCU, as I mentioned earlier. White Vision. Where the heck is he? We know he's getting his own show for some reason. But do we see him make his theatrical debut in Captain America Brave New World? Probably not. I don't. He's just way too powerful a character to add to this supposed to be grounded movie. So I don't see where White Vision would fit into the plot.
Yeah, I possibly don't see Vision coming into any MCU movies or projects until the Vision Quest show actually happens, because I just don't see any fit for him. So I'm also gonna have to put this at 0.
Boom. Next up is Arishem. He's only in here because Tiamat is in the trailer. He's going to be in this movie. He's going to be where we get adamantium from. He's not going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
We need his spots, okay? But this one may be another likely one. I'm going to throw in 25%. We'll see what Kim thinks. But A-Bomb, same exact reason why I put Amadeus Cho in here, because I think we will get a new Gamma character created by the leader. But I think Cho is more likely because his mom is already in the MCU. Well, she died. Ultron killed her, but she was in the MCU. R.I.P. But yeah, he's already got that little, sprinkle in the MCU. So, and A-Bomb, they got nothing to go off of. I mean, he'd be totally new. So, but it'd be cool to see A-Bomb.
I mean, I could see them putting A-Bomb into a movie. Like, it's because he is a fan favorite out of, the Planet Hulk little series that they're going on. I think he should be in 50, because possibly post-credit scene, set up for a Planet Hulk series or a movie or some kind of film or adaptation of it.
We can bump up to 50.
50? All right.
A-Bomb at 50% would be pretty cool to see. Next up, very unlikely one, RDJ Doctor Doom. We're going to have to see him make his debut eventually. I don't think it'll be this movie. It'll probably be Fantastic Four post-credit scenes if I were to guess. But maybe he makes his official debut in the post-credit scene of this movie. I doubt it. So, to me, it's 0 or 25%. I'm leaning towards 0, honestly. What about you, Cam?
Yeah, me too. 0, because it would just make more sense for him to be in the Fantastic Four movie.
And also, it would just be way too soon, because we still have 3 more Marvel projects this year. We got Daredevil, we got in March, and then we got Thunderbolts in May, and I think Fantastic Four is in June or July. So it'll probably be the Fantastic Four movie in June or July, just to give them more time, because if he shows up in the post-credits scene of Captain America Brave New World, we're going to be thinking about that during Daredevil. When is RDJ going to show up? Thunderbolts, when is RDJ going to show up,
Yeah.
So our next one is Bruce Banner. His villains from his movie are now the main villain of Captain America Brave New World. But do we see him? We don't know. The last time we saw him was in the masterpiece She-Hulk show. And we last saw him introducing his CGI son Scar. Because apparently he had a son back in Sakaar. We don't know who he banged.
Some chick, apparently.
Yeah, so maybe it was. I mean, I don't know what they got in Sakaar. I'm gonna throw it 50% because it is Bruce Banner. We're dealing with Hulks.
Yeah. The only possible way I can see it is probably towards the end, where Sam needs a little bit of help, and then he just comes up and starts beating the absolute crap out of Ross.
Yeah, because, I mean, you gotta think, Hulk is going to see, he's gonna turn on the news and see freaking his arch nemesis turn into a Hulk. He's gonna show up, So,
yeah,
maybe he's 75%? How you feeling?
Actually, yeah, I kind of see him being in a 75% range.
It
because
would be dumb if he wasn't in the Hulk movie, featuring the Red Hulk.
I could see the Hulk, Joaquin Torres, and Sam all teaming up to defeat Ross as a final scene. I think that would be personally cool. But yeah, I just see Bruce Banner being in this movie somehow in some way.
I agree. And we have our second 100% confirmed character. He's in the trailer. The leader, played by Tim Blake Nelson, returning. And we last saw him with a goofy, growing forehead with a smile. And apparently he's going to have prosthetics. He's not going to be CGI leader. He's going to actually have prosthetics. I'm scared. I'm almost as scared as what maybe he might look as bad as MODOK. I'm really concerned about what he may look like in this movie. Maybe they'll Colin Farrell penguin him. Maybe it'll look good, but I'm concerned. Maybe it might look bad. Maybe it might look good. But the leader, he's gonna be probably the main villain in this movie. So I'm looking forward to see the return of the leader. Next up is Shang Chi, another loose end in the MCU. We have no idea what he's doing. Last time we saw him, he was looking at his 10 rings with Captain Marvel, Bruce Banner, and I want to say Wong was also in that scene. And bro was like, "Man, my rings are sending a beacon." That beacon was obviously to Kang, but that story is scrapped. So we don't know what's next for Shang-Chi. He's going to be a part of the new Avengers. I imagine Sam will try to assemble Avengers team. So I'm going to say he's 25%. He might be 0. Where would he fit into this movie? Post-credit scene, 25%.
I don't even see him being in any form of this movie. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a place for him to fit in. I don't know.
He also does live in Los Angeles, or not all of Los Angeles, but he's in California, I believe. And this will be in DC, probably the whole movie.
And in California or Los Angeles, they have the wildfires. So you might be battling the wildfire over there.
Okay, he's a 0. He's got other duties to handle. Next up, She-Hulk,
our queen.
Yep.
No. I see them.
I feel like she might have been in this movie originally, but this movie has gone through so many reshoots. I think she might have gotten scrapped, just like she got scrapped in Deadpool Wolverine. That would actually be pretty funny to be scrapped in back-to-back movies. Nobody likes her. She's only going to make ticket sales go down. I'm going to say 0%.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin Feige would redo this mistake.
Fingers crossed. Next up is another huge leap. Sonny Burch. He was one of the villains in Ant-Man and the Wasp. He was another arms dealer, just like Justin Hammer. Adamantium's being introduced. This dude is greedy. He's gonna want to get his hands on it. I think it'd be a fun cameo, but I think he's less likely than Justin Hammer. One, because this actor is in a ton of movies. I don't know how his schedule will go. And Justin Hammer, I just think it'd make more sense. I'm gonna go 0 Sonny Burch, unfortunately. Alright, we're almost done. We got Val. I'm gonna put her 25%. She's getting basically her own movie with Thunderbolts. I'll put her at the same level as Everett Ross, the former lovers. They're divorced, sadly. I think Everett's doing the right decision. She seems crazy, but I'm gonna go 25%. Maybe we see a glimpse of her. Once again, there's so much in this movie. Maybe we'll see her. I'm gonna say there's maybe a slight chance. I actually might move her to 50%. I think because one of the last times we saw her, I can't remember which came out first, Falcon Winter Soldier, Black Panther 2, but one of the last times we saw her was in DC. So maybe we see her for a couple seconds.
Yeah, I could see her debating with Ross just for like a couple seconds.
You're right. Definitely. She's head of the CIA. I forgot. She's like big time. She's head of the CIA. So, yeah. And the last one, Sharon Carter, was revealed to be the power broker of Madripoor. And last scene we saw of her, she was doing some shady stuff on the phone. So she's not a good character anymore. Is she a Skrull? Probably not, because they probably scrap the scroll concept. Last time we saw her, she got some sort of job in DC, so I'm gonna put her on the same level as Val because she was also in the last 2 Captain America movies that came out. Was she in Civil War? Yeah, she was. She was in Civil War and Winter Soldier, the last 2 Captain America movies. So I'm gonna put her at 50%.
Might make out with Sam Wilson because he's just Captain America. We have no idea.
She's got a type.
Yep, she does got a type. Well, her bloodline got a type.
Yeah, that was always one of the most things you think about. Like, oh, yeah, I forgot she's related to Peggy, and her and Steve were into each other. I just rather not think about it.
That's gonna wrap up our Captain America: Brave New World cameo tier list. And thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, check out Cody's channel, This Kid's Opinion, link in the description below. And yeah.